much more in depth and much more thoroughly than the video actually does. So what do I think of this? I think on a number of grounds it's positive and negative. I think it's much more streamlined, definitely. I see things being much more simpler, much more logical. It's not dumbed down at all, which I knew some people had a worry of. I think it's quite complex, but it's still presented in a simple format. Also as well, this kind of system is going to enable you to create more unique characters, and it's not like Fallout 3 where by the end of level 20 or level 30 or whatever, you essentially have this.
Alright, Raw reviewers, let's take a look at Tiger and Bunny's Rock Bison. First off, like most boxes, it's a simple matter of removing the tape along one edge, pull, and release. Of course, there's an insert, a couple inserts actually. Got the Rock Bison silver sheet, Antonio Lopez. Got the instruction sheet. Nothing really notable here. It shows you how to replace, how to change the hands. He only has a couple of hands. It shows you how to apply these little pipes that are on his back. And it shows you how to screw on his little drills. And that's about it. There isn't too much. Like all the Tiger and Bunny line, he does come with his own individualized stand, so we'll take a look at that. It's a pretty standard SH Figure Art stand. See my review of the SH Figure Art stand in my playlist. Or of course you can take a look at the one we did for Sky High. It says Rock Bison on it. It does actually, I didn't mention this on Sky High, but there are little punch outs here so you actually can change the positioning of the peg if you so desire. Simple attachment there and there. I am a bit worried on whether this is going to be strong enough to hold up Rock Bison, because Rock Bison is a big fella. He's our juggernaut. Our Hulk, if you will. The Tiger and Bunny universe. Got a little holder here with the pegs for the clip. Now, that is one annoying thing about the Tiger and Bunny SH Figure Art stands. If you go back and look at my SH Figure, my Figure Art stand itself, they give you a few different clasping options. This just gives you the choose your own size clasping options. So you don't get the alternate options, which are like preset sizes and a few variations thereof. But there's our clasp. Now let's take a look at Rock Bison himself. In the package, as we can see, he has got one pair of fist hands, one pair of alternate hands, and that's really it. He doesn't have anything else. He has his little pegs on the back. For his back, he has no weapons. The top sheet, and like Sky High, he also has the same cost rather, as others in the Tiger and Bunny line, so he's actually pretty affordable. He's something like 21 bucks. Get him standing up, shall we? And pull out his accessories, which really isn't much. He's got one hand here, one hand here, a drill bit, another drill bit, and the two back pegs. He's got a little bit of protective plastic there on the front of his skirt. We spin him around. This is actually a sort of a rubbery material. Take a quick look at the instructions, see exactly how we're supposed to attach them. Okay, so you use either one or the other. You don't attach both. So one's a little bit longer than the other. We'll go with the longer one. And then attach that there, and he's got his little pipe. It's a nice rubbery material, so it moves well with his head, as you can see here. You can switch to a shorter one if you prefer. We'll get right into articulation. Does he have plastic around his head? He has some plastic around his head. Gotta love it when Bandai puts these weird little plastic bits around things. It's always such a pain to try and get it off. Yeah, I can't get it off right now. Not easily. I'll do it off camera at some point after. So here we have Rock Bison. We'll look at his head articulation. So it looks like it's a ball joint. No, oh no, this is a pretty nice joint. I'm going to try and get a camera shot in there. It's not going to be easy though. Alright, so he's actually, it looks like he might have a ball, it might be a bunch of ball joints. It looks like you should be able to pull that up, but you might not be able to. It might just be an offset plug. But as you can see, it moves into a hinge, a ball hinge, which then goes into a regular ball peg. Which allows you to pull the head up nice and tall like that, which yes, of course, does break the sculpt MO, but it does give you far more flexibility when it comes to positioning the head, because as you can see, I can do this. I feel like I should be able to turn it more on that swivel, that ball swivel, but still, that is an amazing level of flexibility in the head. And of course, then you can swing it down. You have to tinker around with it to get it into a position that'll work for you. But you can get a massive range of movement out of that head, as you can see. I mean, that is a huge range of motion in that head, right there. Nothing on the shoulders that you can maneuver. He does have a double jointed elbow, but it's got a sculpted elbow cover here, which has a bit of a bend in it. Still, you've got a good deal of rotation. We've got full rotation at the upper part. As you can see, we can move it up and down. Stupid little rubber grommets. He is a sharp fellow, like most SH figure art, so keep that in mind. Full range of motion on the lower part of the elbow. It pulls him right out. Get that back in there. So he does have limitations, despite all of the ball hinges that are in that shoulder, and it's because it's sculpted, and you can kind of sort of straighten out the sculpt, as you can see here. But you really can't get him further than that, which is fair. He's a heavily armored guy. He's got a lot of limitations in his sculpt. His hand is on a ball hinge like normal. You can actually get a little bit of articulation on his wrist covers here. You can actually articulate them up and down as you need to. It's just a swivel. You do get a nice range. There. Obviously the other side is going to be the same. For shoulder articulation, let's see if we can get it in there. He has got something of a butterfly joint with a bit of a hinge. That's a ball joint. multiple ball joints, as you can actually see that this upper shoulder will move separately from the actual body here. So you get a good range of motion there, so you should be able to get into some nice poses. More of the stupid plastic all over his body, which I'm going to have to remove. But if we can see here, we've got a full ball hinge for the upper torso. Can go about that far back. And that far forward. The lower body offers some additional articulation. Not too far back and forth, but you do get a full range of swiveling and swifting. You can see here. The skirt pieces are articulated, and they look like they're going to come off less easily than Sky Highs do. But they can probably still come off pretty easily. There's none in the back. The skirt's just in the front. Leg articulation is... They can go out pretty much as far as those skirt pieces can. Maybe even a little bit further. There's the inside of how the skirt looks, how it's connected. We have got a ball joint down there, trying to get you a good view. It's a little bit tricky to position this guy. And I popped off one of his skirt pieces. And it went flying to the other side of my room. Alright, it's fine. So there you go. So he's got that standard SH Figure Arts ball joint. So you know there's a joint here, it's on the ball joint, which gives you some leg swivel. You can swing it around all you want. He's got a double jointed knee, and unlike Sky High, the little cap here isn't a separate piece. Oh, no, it is. I was wrong. But it does hold on there a lot better than Sky High's does. Got good range for that double jointed knee. Looks pretty clean, however you do it, because it is a knee cap. It looks pretty clean on there. We've got some nice ankle pivot. You can swing it around all we like. Bring it that far forward. And not back at all. Though we can give it some nice ankle rock. And we have a toe articulation joint, though it doesn't really do much. Except when you pull it out. Because you can look here, the toe articulation joint starts here, you can actually pull it out, and this gives you a full range of motion here. So he's got a lot of accordion joints. Trying to see if there's any other accordion joints here. A little bit of pulling, because they don't have to pull much for those accordion joints to come out. No, doesn't look like he has any more accordion joints. But that is Rock Bison. His head is going to be a biatch to try and work with. But you do get a large range of motion with it. And that is Rock Bison. Now, of course, like all SH Figure Arts, pop off the hands, replace them. You've got these posy hands. Putting the wrong one on. A little tricky. See, he is a much bigger figure. These joints are also a lot bigger, so you're not in as much of a risk of worrying about breaking them, simply because they are so much bigger. You get a nice little posy, crabby hand there. While the points of these are hard, the actual drills themselves are pretty soft. And you just peg them on. Get a little bit of articulation, but that's probably unintentional. You have to go all the way. And you can still rotate them, as he was used as actual drills in the show a couple of times. Then let me get him situated. Stands pretty well, as you can see there. Throw up the turntable. There you go, folks. Rock Bison. Again, he, just like Sky High, goes for about the same amount as Sky High, about 20, 25 bucks. So about the same price as a Marvel Legends figure, which, you know, considering SH figures normally go for around 60 bucks, going for a Marvel Legends price point, it makes him a really good deal, as is Sky High. And we have a couple others we're going to do all in that same price range. Customizers, not really what I can tell you customizers. He has a very unique body build. I can't think of too many things you could remold him into, but you've got the body here to look at. See what you can come up with. Let me know in the description. Peace out.
GeForce GTX 980 Ti G1 Gaming for Gigabyte. When I told him I was done doing the benchmarking, he was like, "Oh, do I have to give back the Gigabyte card?" He referred to it as the GTR graphics cards. Told me he had to give it back soon, but he can borrow it from me a while longer. It's his card. And then I do have my personal GTX 980 classified Kingpin. Actually, it is a classified Kingpin card. But yes, this is not a reference card. However, I did get a reference BIOS from EVGA that will slip into this card and turn this card into a reference card, where transistors in the dense integrated circuit had been doubling every 2 years. That's a pretty aggressive curve. You consider that they made that observation back in the 70s. Where we are now in the 2015, we have come a long way with billions of transistors in a single unit. Now, obviously, these GPUs are not going to hold true of being twice as fast every 2 years, or maybe it will. GPU performance, I don't know if that's going to integrate directly to comparison of